As a male, if you go on a blind date, you will be very popular. Didn't Hangzhou hold that blind date conference some time ago? The scene was vibrant and it looked like a vast crowd. If you look closely, they are all women and few men. Many people think that there are about 30 million more men than women in China, so women should be scarcer. But the reality is that men are more popular in the dating market. Do you know what causes this phenomena? It's not because these girls are so good.
我今年38岁了，硕士学
I
历。
am 38 years old, have a master's degree, and am a high-quality leftover woman. I initially wanted to find an equally outstanding older leftover man in Hangzhou, but it was when I turned 38 this year I realized that older men I thought were outstanding didn't even look at me. The people chasing me now are all rural bachelors, which means I can only marry and live in the countryside if I want to get married.
村去生活了。
Have you ever wondered why there's a phenomenon in mainland China where no one wants outstanding leftover women? Today, we're diving into this intriguing topic. There are many leftover women in China's first-tier cities such as Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. For various reasons, they are still single after the age of 27, so they are labeled as leftover women by the outside world. These women have become anxious about marriage due to the overwhelming expectations and pressures of their families and society. Some have become too disappointed and gave up on choosing a spouse, and some have chosen to study abroad. According to statistics, China's male population exceeds the female population by a staggering 32.37 million. Take Shanghai as an example. The population of this prosperous city has surpassed 24 million. And the number of older leftover women among them is as high as 900,000. Netizen Yaya is almost 35 years old. When she was ill, she lamented that women should still find a partner.
还是得找个对象。平时不觉得
People need to find a boyfriend. You don't even have someone to cook for you when you are sick. I've been lying in bed all day. I've had diarrhea all day, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I want to eat noodles, but I needed someone to make it. In the end, I ordered takeout, but it was awful. After eating the takeout, I had diarrhea even more.
真是服了。
China's economy is declining and employment is difficult. Many people must continue to study for a master's degree after getting a bachelor's degree and then for a doctorate after finishing the master's degree. When a girl graduates with her doctorate, she is already 28 and has become an older woman, realizing that her peers are already married and even have children, while they have missed the best time to get married.
今年已经39岁了，是一个女博士，福州本地
I am 39 years old, a female doctor. I am an unmarried, childless native of Fuzhou. I am so good at what I do that I've gotten myself into a situation where I'm a leftover woman. In the past, I was not anxious. I had the capital. I relied on my efforts to get a doctorate. In our town, I am somewhat famous. Everyone knows my family in this region. I am one of the few to have earned a doctorate. Everyone was envious. I thought I was excellent, so the boys in the city did not dare to come to know me, thinking they did not deserve me. I am from the countryside to the big city, and they want me to marry an uneducated, vulgar person. I'm sure I'm unwilling to do that, and I don't want to spend my whole life in the countryside. It's okay to return occasionally for New Year's Eve, but I'd rather stay in the big city constantly.
但是呢，我还是愿意一直待在大城市里边。
She said that when she was young, she also wanted to find a good man and set high standards. But now that she's 39 and still single, she regrets missing out on many good men when she was younger.
大家都想找那种极品的好男人。
We all want to find that kind of excellent-sounding man, but a good man is very few, especially for my age. A good man has been in the state of extinction, chosen by others away, and now there are the crooked melons and cracked dates left without getting married. Now I regret why I rejected so many good men when I was young. But now I'm chatting with a man I didn't like before. I admit I'm panicking. But I haven't said I would meet a random man and be content with it. If that were the case, I might be so hungry that I would find a random guy.
才会说随便选择一个男的。
Why are older leftover women concentrated in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen? A female netizen believes that by 30, men will be forced to leave because of the high housing prices in big cities.
我是农村出来的，在上海奋斗了7、8年，之前拿着一个年薪30万的工作。
I came from the countryside and struggled in Shanghai for 7 or 8 years. My previous job paid me 42,000 a year. I can tell you from personal experience that by the time I'm in my 30s, all male university students from other provinces are forced to leave because of the high cost of housing in big cities. If he returns to his hometown, his parents will prepare a home base for him even if it's difficult. But girls, no matter how hard reality forces you, you will never leave because after you leave a big city, your situation will become worse. Especially if the family you were born into is a low-income family, the matchmaker will only introduce you to a partner based on your family. Your glorious hard work resume in big cities is worthless to the matchmaker. There are many reasons why older women in China are single. Some have invested too much energy in their careers and feel free to be single. This is the case with the following user who has a unique and natural attitude towards relationships. My friends and I don't fall in love because we are all swamped. In our hearts, career comes first and love comes second. Our working hours are not stable. I feel exhausted after work every day and I don't want to have to cater to another person. Another person will put a lot of constraints on you and you will feel that work has made you so tired and his company made you emotionally uncomfortable, so you don't want to fall in love. Some women are overly selective because they have a high vision and seek a perfect marriage and material life. Although eager to marry, they must realize they have set a high standard for choosing a husband.
我今年38岁啊，大龄优质剩女。
I am 38 years old and an older quality woman. It's been 4 or 5 years since I graduated and I'm still alone. Finding a partner takes time. I don't have high requirements for men, but why can't I find one? I am 1 meter 68. I am looking for a 1 meter 75 tall guy. It's not too much. I graduated with a master's degree. I'm looking for a guy with a bachelor's degree or above. It's not too much. I have a car and a house. I'm looking for him with a vehicle and a home. It's not too much. I make more than $1,400 per month. I'm looking for a guy who makes more than $1,400 per month. It's not too much either. But I realize that there are too few such guys, and none are in real life. As I get older, I also get very anxious.
那随着年龄越来越大，我也是很焦虑的。
Some netizens commented that if the man is 1 meter 75 centimeters, has a car and a house, and earns more than $1,400 a month, why would he look for a 38-year-old girl? He will look for a girl in her 20s who has no problem with childbearing. Sometimes when an older woman goes on a blind date, she encounters unexpected situations and has to run away.
我的妈呀！
The first time I met a blind date, I met him in the park. It was such a hot day.
园见面的，还是这么热的天。
你长得这么漂亮，为什么还单身？
Why are you so pretty and still single? I have a narrow social circle and prefer to socialize less, so I only meet a few boys. What kind of girl do you like? I like diligent and thrifty people who don't waste money and know how to cherish the life before them. How to say it? An income of 70,000 can make you feel like you have 140,000. Girls are too materialistic these days. Before getting married, I was more cautious and rarely spent money on girls. But after the wedding, I would give my wife all the money and gifts. The girl asked, "Do you really celebrate Valentine's Day?" The boy replied, "I have never celebrated Valentine's Day. Those are all business gimmicks. Merchants do this to defraud us of our money." The girl said, "We've been chatting for more than 20 minutes. It's too hot today. Let's buy some water. We're too thirsty." The boy said, "Please bear with me. I was going to buy water just now and I looked at the price, $1.40. It was only 28 cents outside." The girl said, "I'm leaving. I'm too thirsty. He is too stingy."
外面才2块。
There are currently 34 million more men than women in China. While this number suits women, it doesn't mean they will easily find the right person. Let's look at some of this lady's blind date experiences.
我今年35岁，是别人眼中的大龄剩女。
I'm 35 years old and a leftover woman in other people's eyes. It really doesn't matter to me whether I get married or not, but my parents see that I'm getting older, so they're rushing around to arrange blind dates for me. I've been on several blind dates and anyone could dislike me, so I wanted to cry. The first strange person is a civil servant. When we first met, he asked me about my monthly salary. I said I work in a public institution, and after deducting the monthly insurance, it's about $400. What he said next shocked me. He said that he grew up in a rural area, and his parents had spent all their savings sending him to school and could not afford any bride price. If he gets married, he needs to buy a house. He asked my family to pay the down payment in two people's names and repay the mortgage together. After getting married, I must give him $280 a month because his younger brother is studying in college. This $280 is his younger brother's living expenses. If the elderly parents at home have any illness and need to spend money in the future, he hopes my parents can spend some cash to help. Oh my God, am I getting married or raising a man? I made an excuse and left directly. The second one seemed quite normal initially and he was pretty handsome. But the first thing he said was, "You are already 35, why aren't you married yet?" I was speechless after hearing this. If I was married, why would I come on a blind date? Besides, isn't he 37 years old? 2 days later, he asked me to go out for dinner. After dinner, he asked me to spend the night at his place, but I refused. Then he sent me a text message saying, "Let's break up." I wondered, what's the reason? He said it's nothing. I wouldn't like you anymore. In the end, he also said, "No wonder you can't get married at 35. It pisses me off. There are all kinds of strange people in this world. The third one is the son of my father's colleague. His family is said to be in good condition. We met and chatted for a while, and then he asked me how tall I was. I said 1.65 meters. Unexpectedly, he said I was too short. Then he asked me how much I weighed, and I said 52 kilograms. He said we were unsuitable and wanted to find a girlfriend over 1.7 meters tall and about 45 kilograms. I laughed at the time. He looked less than 1.65 meters tall and weighed about 85 kilograms. What qualifications did he have to require of me? The fourth man forgot his wallet on the first date. I said it was okay and I'd pay for it. He said that's fine. Then he said, "Can you fry another dish to pack? He will not have to cook for one day tomorrow." I am speechless. I hope all girls understand that they should not look for men in the garbage just because they are getting older.
我坚信低质量的婚姻不如高质量的单身。
With the increase in age, a lot of older women are past the age of marriage and do not want to consider getting married in this matter.
就过了这个年纪就不想了。
We were born in 1986 and no longer wish to get married after we are old enough. We all know about the blind date market. Boys of the same age or slightly older will choose younger girls. Once, a colleague always wanted to introduce us to a partner. She said, "In what year were you two born?" We both said it was in 1986. The colleague's expression was stunned, and then he thought momentarily and said, "A doctor in his 40s is married for the second time. I can introduce him to you." The colleague tried very hard, but finding a match for us was difficult, so it became tough to get married. Then I stopped thinking about getting married. I could devote myself to my career, which might have a better return.
好的回报，我还不如投到事业上，可能有大概率有好的回报。
Older, leftover women have received higher education. Many study abroad because of the pressure to get married, China's disastrous economic situation, and high unemployment. Mainland China Hushou.com published a story in May last year about 3 older women studying abroad. One of the women, Rachel, worked at a major Chinese internet company for 2 years. She has experienced 2 department disbandments, and her business is constantly adjusted every month. She worked overtime and stayed up late regularly. Later, she quit her job in a large factory and went to study abroad with $70,000, which was all she had saved from working. She came to the US and became a graduate student at a university. Escaping from China may be a better choice for older women. That's all for today. If you like our content, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Thank you for your support, and see you next time.